So I wanted to talk about trucking, and I felt that it would be kind of on brand with what's going on in today's economy. And if somebody is interested in, pursuing a trucking career, you might be like, girl, why are you talking about trucking and you have scrubs on? But I'm the type, I always recommend that people try different careers if they're not happy with the career that they're currently in, and to just try things out. So I thought, why not just get on live and talk about trucking? So I pursued trucking in 2022. I had to look back at some of my emails and be like, okay, when did I do this again? Because it was a few years back. We were dealing with the pandemic, and my background is in public health. So I have my master's degree in public health, and I concentrated in epidemiology. I am currently in the public health field right now. I was finally able to find a job that I'm really happy in, healthy environment, and so I'm finally working in my field. But when I graduated from school, it was not easy to find a job. So I thought I would come on here and talk about the benefits of trucking, kind of like the pros and the cons if you're interested in doing it. I highly suggest that if you are interested in doing trucking, that you do thorough research. Do thorough research. So I pursued this in 2022. I couldn't find a job. I was putting several applications out, trying to network, going on job fairs. Like, the advice that I give on my channel as far as like trying to see what job fairs are going on locally, networking, getting on LinkedIn. All of that advice that I provide is advice I've taken for myself. I wouldn't just give advice and I haven't done it myself. And it just wasn't working out for me. So I have brothers who are in trucking. I have people in my life that are in trucking. And so I was like, let me just go ahead and give it a try. Was it scary? Absolutely, because any new experience you go after that you try, you're going to have some type of fear. But one thing with it is, even if you have some type of fear in you, you can still go after what you want, or at least give it a try. So I tried trucking in 2022. And I'm going to go down the list of the pros and cons. So with trucking school, the whole process takes about a month, close to a month. Like, I have my notes here. So the first week, you're focused on, you're just in the classroom. They want you to learn all the information that they possibly could teach you within that week when it comes to trucking, background on it and all of that. Week 2 is going to be where you're on the yard. So the yard is, you're getting to know the truck, the inside of the truck, the engine. You're learning how to back in. You're learning all types of things when it comes to trucking, and it was a good experience. Like, you'll be able to connect with the people, different people from different backgrounds. And then with week 3, that's when you're going to get on the road. Of course, you have the instructor that's going to show you what they're looking from you, like what they're expecting. Hi, Funny Hub, and hi, Skylar. How y'all doing? I'm good. How's your day going? But you're gonna get that experience on the road. And then in the final week, I'm in Florida. In the final week, you are going to be tested. So it's going to be 2 parts when it comes to testing. You're going to be tested on the parts of the truck, and then they're going to select which one you have to, well, actually, you're going to have to do all of it. You're going to have to park for them. You're going to have to do several things to show them that you are capable of Florida. I'm in Florida. But that you are capable of being a truck driver. So one of the recommendations that I have for you is, if you're interested in going into trucking, this is one of a piece of advice that I did take from someone about trucking prior to starting school. So it was to go ahead, and I'm going to show y'all a few things, but I think I have like the what they expect. I know I printed it out. But basically your permit. So while you're in school, the first week, you're going to be taken to the DMV to go ahead and test for your permit. And I believe it's 3 sections to that permit that you have to pass in order to get it. But you need that prior to obtaining your CDL. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm reading my messages. But I don't want to lose my train of thought. But it's best for you to go ahead and get your permit prior to even enrolling in school if you really know you want to go after this. The reason I say that is there was some people in the program, they could not pass the part to where the part for the permit to receive their permit. So think about it. What I did was is it true that transportation sector is getting shortage of drivers in the US? So last I did look that up or the last time I heard anything about that was a few months ago. You would have to do some more thorough research, but I do know the pay isn't the same as it was during the pandemic. And a lot of people who are drivers, I'm answering this question that Bikramjit Singh, hopefully I pronounced that right, just asked me about like the shortage as far as transportation. A lot of people they're doing career changes where they might exit doing trucking. The pay isn't as high as it was, so a lot of that has taken a hit. So I'm no longer a truck driver. I transitioned back into public health. Hopefully that answers your question, or do some more research if you can. But to get back on topic, I am on limited time. I'm on my lunch break, y'all. But so what I did was I went ahead and I got my permit because it was suggested that I do that prior to school. And I did fail it a few times. This is new. So you could be basically trying a whole new career change and you're going into trucking. So everything is new to you. So I failed it. I think I failed it twice before I passed it. And I'm referring to the permit prior to getting the actual CDL. So I studied, and that's something that you're gonna need to continuously study in order to get and to understand. And you might face a bit of frustration. I know I did, because I'm usually quick to get things, but this was just kind of different and I wasn't getting it. So on the third try, I believe that I did pass it, and then I was able to have that and not worry about it when I did start school. So that's a suggestion, is to get your permit. And I'll have a link. I know this live is going to be saved. I'll have a link in the description box so you can check it out to see what I'm referring to. Every state, it varies, but I think the information is the same, because I was helping someone get some information for trucking school, like they're interested in going into trucking. Another suggestion is, prior to doing anything in your state, make sure that you see if there are any programs that will pay for your CDL, right? There are some programs out there. I think you just have to meet some qualifications to where they can pay for it. I do know that there was a few people in the class, I didn't know about this. Like I said, this was new, so that's why I'm giving this information. But what they ended up doing was going through Workforce, I believe. They went through Workforce. A couple other people went through other programs, and I myself, I just went through this school, and I ended up paying. I'm still paying them back. So that's why I'm suggesting to go ahead and get as much information as you can prior to starting this journey, to see if there's another program that'll pay for it, so you're not having to pay. So I'm going to go through the breakdown. Now, it might vary based on where you're at, but I'm going to break this down for you. So for the tuition, the CDL tuition was about $5,000. Application fee was $150. DOT medical exam was $50. DOT drug screen was about $40. And this was a few years back, so the prices may have increased. And like I said, it varies. But be sure that if you are a smoker, be sure that you stop smoking if you're going to go into school. They will test you. They will test you. That's not even a doubt. Just asking for my knowledge. Do US people surf on dark web? Like how much they are know about? I'm unsure about that. But let's just get back on topic. So they will screen you. So if you are the type to be like a heavy smoker, please, 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 before you go to these people's school, make sure that you taking a break from that. And another recommendation is, if you want to check to see if you're clean, at the dollar store, they have drug screening. Like they'll have like, it's like $1 and well, it's not even the dollar store anymore. It's $1.25 store, whatever. But they'll have it, and then you could just test yourself to make sure you straight before starting trucking school. So they will test you. They will find out. Let me see. The permit fee was $625. License fee was $81.25. They do a background check, and some do a hair follicle drug screen. So the background was $40. Hair follicle was $70. So how I did this was, there was going to be a company that I was going to go work for, and they were covering me staying in the hotel. So they were covering certain things, and in return, I would go and work for them. But in order to wipe my debt off, I would have had to complete the program or complete the duration of working for them. And I'm going to get into like a slight story time. But after you complete school, like you complete your classes, and I want to go over the schedule as well. So with this schedule, I forgot to get into that first. So with this schedule, expect from like week 1, like I said, that was classroom, and my schedule at the time was like basically 8 to 6 p.m., 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's long. You're watching videos. They're going to ask you some questions, but expect to be in a classroom. It is not going to be as exciting, but it kind of is, because this is new to you, and you want to do well, you want to grasp all the information. So another thing is, on week 2 on the yard, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And whether it's rain, shine, whatever, you're going to be out there on the yard, driving them trucks, getting as much experience as you can, backing up and all of that. It's a lot. And in the third week, it was 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Fridays, it would vary, but you're getting experience on the road. And there are other people, there, of course. So that kind of takes up your time as well. But it's very intense. But if you're into it, there are several people that you can look up on YouTube, and they'll give you all the information that you need when it comes to trucking school. Probably a little bit more thorough than me. They're probably still doing trucking. They got more information. So look them up. If this is something you really want to do, be sure that you go on YouTube, go online, just look up as much information as you can. You can use different platforms to find as much information on that. I know I did. I followed a lot of women truckers just to get an idea of what to expect. So after doing the permit, going through school, completing the road test, passing my test, then I took the plane to go and work for the company. They also did, once I got to that company, they did another drug test. Don't think that they can't test you at any time they want to. They can test you whenever they want. They can test you whenever you want. So be sure that, you ain't got nothing to worry about, no smoke. So once got there, it was like some orientation. I stayed in this motel that was a hot mess. But the thing is, it wasn't coming out of my pocket directly. So it's like, well, this is where you're going to be staying. And of course, expect to have a roommate once you go out to work for that company. Y'all. The next thing is, they're going to pair you with a driver. So you're going to be with this driver on the road for about a month. And they're going to give you, I don't want to show any information, but it's like a log sheet. I don't want y'all to think I'm lying. It's a log sheet, right? and you're going to be driving from different states. So that driver, that's their truck, is their world. And the driver that I had, oh my gosh, when I say dirty, he get a 10 out of 10 for being dirty. So you can also tell them about your preference when it comes to if you want to have like a male driver or a female driver. You could tell them your preference. Some people might not be comfortable if they're a female and they have a male driver. I myself, I didn't care. As long as I didn't get any type of, and you're going to do a quick introduction. And if you get the vibes that this is not who you want to be on the road with for the next month, then you can tell them that. You have the option to be like, no, I don't feel comfortable. Can you find somebody else for me? They're going to sit down and see who do you want to be paired with, male, female. I'm unsure about how race goes, but yeah, that company will tell you. And this whole thing, I skipped that portion. So I literally paid $9,000 to get my CDL. About $9,000 to get my CDL, when if I would have known, I would have done more research where a program would have paid it for me. You get what I'm saying? And gone from there. But I'm still paying it off. That's why I say do your research. Okay, so forward, get there, and I'm just ready to start working, ready to get on the road. Little did I know, if this wasn't a live, I would have been able to include a picture. I don't know how I'll be able to do that. I might remake another video where I include pictures. It was so bad. Keep in mind to check the truck out prior to getting on a road with anybody. Whoever they're going to pair you with, please make sure they not dirty. This guy was extremely dirty. It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. There was trash everywhere, but I didn't know. I just met him outside of his truck. I didn't step in. Had I known, I would have stepped in, looked around, and be like, nah, this ain't for me. I don't know if that was my experience, traumatized me so bad that I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. But it wasn't it. Another thing is, you can't tell from the outside, but you have to make sure the person that you would like to take showers, because this man did not like to take showers. I'm a woman. I need to take showers. I need to clean myself. Granted, on the road, expect things to be extremely pricey. You're going to be spending money daily, but you have to know what your budget is, what you can afford, what you can't afford, can or can't afford. And it's so much money being spent on there. So depending on points, what he was supposed to do was to stop, take showers, and utilize his card. Of course, that had points to where I could shower. I would have to ask this man, could you stop so we could, like, I can clean myself? Because think about it, you're driving, you're on a road. You understand, like, it's just so much going on where you have to be a clean person. Like, how you just nasty like that? Like, the man was disgusting. It was so many times, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I'm telling you the pros and cons. If I knew we were stopping, but he wasn't gonna take no shower or anything, because what it is in their mind is they need to, like, you're the one that's driving. The first week, they're gonna be the one that's driving. Well, actually, not even the first week. They might drive the first day, talk to you, get to know you, and then the second day, you pulling out. You understand? Like, you're driving because you have your CDL now, so get to working. So I know with me, as soon as I met him, put my stuff up, I had to be the one that, drove, got on the road. And so he gave me my log sheet and everything, and that was that. Started driving. So the experience was a 0 out of 10 on the road. Absolutely 100% 0 out of 10. You got to understand, you're on the truck, like, you want a clean space. You understand? Like, you want a clean space. So if it's all cluttered and everything, trash was like everywhere, and I was like, what did I do with my life? What am I doing with my life? This man was extremely disgusting, and I even called in. I was like, hey, he's not stopping enough for showers. Like, this is becoming a problem. And so I know the woman that I did speak with, she reached out. She was like, hey, like, what's going on? She's, you guys are supposed to be stopping. He was like, oh, she should have told me. And it's just like, no, you knew. You knew. And so with the food is expensive. The food is expensive. You're a student driver. You're not making as much. Understand, the driver is the one that's seeing the money. You're the student, in a sense. You're an employee, but you're like still a student. And so the checks I was making wasn't a lot at all. And so because what the thing is, you have to complete this. You have to complete your log sheet in order to see what you're capable of doing, and you have to experience how these roads are, in different states. They vary. And so I could not eat just junk food all the time. It's so much junk food out there, and to me, I'm upset because it's like y'all say truckers are the backbones of this country in a sense, and yet all you have is junk food. How do you just have junk food on the road? Like, in order to get a salad, you can stop by and you're gonna fuel up and you get a salad. That salad like $7-8 or whatever the case may be, however much it is. But think about it, if you're not doing groceries and you're spending money every day. So it does get costly. You have to hope and pray, cross your fingers that you are on the road with somebody that likes to take care of themselves and bathe. But baby, I got my lesson. So let me tell you what happened. We're gonna get into the meat of it. Y'all, I did not last. I completed it. I completed the states that I needed to go to. I went everywhere from Texas to New York, to Arizona, all of that. And on the last day, I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me. And don't get me started on the porta potties. Before getting on the road, and it's an experience, you understand? Before getting on the road, I had never used a porta potty. The type of porta potties I ran to, I don't even want to get into that. Like, not the best. Of course, wear shower shoes in the shower. You don't want to catch nothing. It's just so many things. And I was like, you know what? I gave it a try. I did what I could. But I don't think I could do OTR. I don't think I could do over the road. So came back home. I did get another job, and that's another thing. If you're fairly new and you want to do local, understand local is not going to pay as much as OTR, right? It's not going to be as much. I ended up getting a job, and baby, I got my ass all handed to me. You understand? You like, what you mean by that? Meaning, it was a company where I had to deliver like different beverages, like gas stations, and that takes like a lot of work. And I thought I was like, strong. That my body was feeling like I was working out for 12 hours. So I gave it another shot when I got back home, and I was like, you know what? Nobody can say. I didn't do this for anybody but myself, because I wanted to be, trucking is a lucrative business, like it's so much you can do in it. And I just felt at that time like, you know what, this ain't for me. And that's okay. If you get into it, you complete school, you go and work for that company, and you're like, you know what, this is just not what I expected. This is not what I envisioned. It's okay. It's really okay to be like, you know what, let me find something else I can get into. Of course, like I always mention in my videos, if you have a partner, discuss that with them. If you have whoever in your life, discuss that with them. That whoever needs to know. I myself, I was like, you know what, this ain't it. I tried it, and I am a very determined individual, but this is the ghetto, and I can't do it. I cannot do it. And so it was a different experience. Do I regret it? Not at all, because it taught me that I could push myself to the limit. But I commend truck drivers out there, because that is not an easy job. You got to understand, you're driving nonstop. You're not getting as much sleep. Sometimes there's a lot of truckers that go into depression because they don't have that close interaction like they would if they were at home. They're eating unhealthy foods. Like when they're sick, they don't really have somebody that's physically there to tend to them. So sometimes you could be seeing like a trucker, y'all so quick to cuss them out. Oh, where this person going, or don't have enough patience for them on the road. Little do you know, that person ain't had sleeping in Lord knows how long. So I commend them. Like, I commend truckers. I commend them 100% because it's not easy. Sorry, my light went out. It's almost time for me to go in. I think I'm gonna do like possibly another video. Hopefully this one gets views or can help somebody out. But that's why, you know, I say do as much research as you can on this, in this field. Talk to people, network, and see if it is for you. Don't be afraid to try things out there. But the way this economy is set up, understand that this might be the field for you. It might not. Just do your research before you go into it. See how much it's going to cost. It varies state by state. Like I said, I paid about $9,000 for this total, like this license, and I'm still paying on it, you know. So it's just like, okay, hey, it's all right. I'm gonna pay these people off and keep it moving. But one thing I know for sure is I'm gonna keep it current, because if my job today was to say, you know what, unfortunately, due to the economy, we have to let you go, then at least I know I can have that to fall back on, or my other certification. So look into it, but understand it is not easy, and you're working for every dime that you get. You are working, I'm going to repeat that, you are working for every dime that you are going to get. The whole experience, because it's not easy at all. You have to be on alert like all the time, because not only could you ruin somebody else's life if you're not, you can also ruin your life or their life, you know? So look into it. I suggest it for anyone that might be single, or if they're married and they want to do local, or they can't do OTR, or I just recommend it for people out there that want a career change. I recommend it for anyone who wants to do a career change. And yeah, so let me know what you thought about this live. If you have any questions, I think I went over everything that I wanted to go over. I think so. Keep getting a call. One of the challenges that I did have was backing in. Oh my gosh. So look at different videos just to see what it looked like, but it is an experience. I'll tell you that much. It is an experience. Funny thing is, it's not so funny, but I had to go. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I had to leave that company. It was a whole experience, but I think I'll make like another video if this one does well, and if not, I'll be like, well, shoot, I tried. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, I'll see y'all.